and welcome our Wesley family to the Delaware State family. And so to our Wesley students, faculty, and staff who are joining our family today, we welcome you. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, we sincerely welcome you. We've made it through uncharted waters. Our compass was guided with the DSU and Wesley teams who work together to solve problems and overcome obstacles. And I'll just say, as a point of personal pride, my son and daughter-in-law are both proud graduates of Wesley College. And so because of that history that I share with you, I know what Wesley College is about. And so again, I welcome all of you. We join together our legacies, the 147 years from Wesley and the 130 years for Delaware State University. We're builders. We're going to continue to build on our legacies together. Our future is bright, and there's so much ahead of us. And so with that, I'll turn it back to our MC. And again, welcome. And I'll stay on for a little while longer. I do have to leave at about 20 after 11. Thank you.
Next, we will have remarks from Wesley Chairman Bill Strickland. First of all, Madam Chair, if you have to be out by a 20 after, never give an insurance agent a microphone. That's a bad plan if you want an early exit. On behalf of the Wesley College Board of Trustees, I want to start by thanking Madam Chair, Board of Trustees of Delaware State University. Thank President Allen. I want to thank Cleon Holly. Thank the entire team for the spirit of collaboration that you extended to us and the courtesies that you extended to us in the process. You didn't have to, you did, and it's very much appreciated. As a member of a very grateful community, I also want to personally recognize Tony Allen. Tony Allen is someone that I knew a little bit at the beginning of this process. I am now privileged to be able to call him a friend. This community, this family, is also very privileged to have him as a lightning rod for positive change. And as a member of this grateful community, I want to thank you for your wisdom and your vision, and most of all, your tenacity. The last couple of months, as we grew closer to this time, it was obviously important to reflect about the history of Wesley College. Been on the board since 2004. This college is very important to me, to my family, and I believe with that, so many great memories. They spent at Grass Field watching Wesley usually emerge victorious, watching Senator Benini cheer very loudly for the Wolverines, and it's just great times. And I think the thing that really stands out about this is change. Change is hard. Nobody likes to change. Yeah, really, change is hard. Change for us. This is very. One thing this pandemic, I think, has taught all of us is that we have to embrace change. We can't fight change. We've got to embrace it. And as a board chair and as a longtime advocate of Wesley College, what I would call upon the Wesley family now to do is stay on the sidelines. Let's embrace this. Let's advocate for this. Let's become part of a bigger family. This is a great day. This isn't a wait. This is a celebration. And it is part of an emerging, real significant force for this region. So, on behalf of our board, thank you, and Appreciate so much all the courtesies again that were extended to us in the process. Thank you very much.
Thank you for those words, Mr. Strickland. Next, we're going to have, listen, we're talking about voices and people who can sing, right? This young lady who's about to come up here, she actually sang for President Biden the day before he was inaugurated. She represented Delaware State University very well, and she's another young lady who's Delaware through and through. She graduated from Christiana High School in North Delaware, and she is now a junior here at Delaware State University. And y'all know when we say that girl can sing, she can sing. She sang so much. I was just over in the hallway, right? And I heard this humming. I'm like, what is going on? She was actually preparing. I said, oh, she's about to throw in. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause to Delaware State University junior and that girl can sing, Miss Chloe Humphrey.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and welcome everybody. I'd like to start with Desire of the Spirit. It came to me yesterday, I was thinking of songs or this week, the song of change and us to put in our faith. And one of this is a gift from God. To have this come to our state, have us come to our city. I'd like to bless y'all with that real quick. What should the shadows tell? What should my heart do? Heaven home with Jesus is my portion. A constant friend is he. His eye is on the sparrow. Down below, you are Jesus. See, because I'm happy. I see because I'm free. His eye is on the sparrow. And I know you are true.
Anybody who's seen this movie Coming to America, y'all know this quote, that girl good. Exactly. Appreciate it. She's going to have another musical selection a little later on. Before we get into the actual signing, I just want to, I know you've said it plenty of times, I know you guys have seen it out here in the press. I'm a proud Delaware State University student. And when I read them, as a Delaware State resident, you can get full tuition with the Inspire Scholarship to go to Delaware State University. I said, that's huge. The reason why it's huge for me, because I advocate for Delaware State University everywhere I go. I always talk to people, hey, you go to college? They're like, yeah, I'm going to college. Like, all right, so Delaware State it is. They'd be like, oh, no. But a lot of Delaware residents that have the opportunity to have full tuition to go to Delaware State University in Wesley, right? It's huge. So Dr. Tony Allen, everybody who put that thing together, all the elected officials, I'm going to give you guys a round of applause for this. I just have one question. Since I'm a Delaware State University alumni and resident, is that a tuition reimbursement? No, sir? Yeah, shoot all your stats. Shoot all your stats. Just up GPA. Pretty good GPA. No stippling is good, okay? now we're about to have the official signing of the acquisition and the joining and the power of we, as you see, is plastered up all around us, the power of we. So I'm going to get President Clark and President Dr. Tony Allen to get these papers out. So all my camera crew, if you're out here, get your cameras out. We're about to do the official signing. This is day one on July 1.
Let's call up Senators Lee, Senator Pardee, there's Tom Shu, so newly elected council president Sutler. You would just join us on stage. So we'll call up the new dean of the College of Health and Behavioral Sciences. The first date is today. Dr. And the Chief Administrator of DSU Downtown, Dr. Stacy Downey. Obviously, Chairman Strickland, if you would join us as well. I've never given this one as much praise as I've given him today. He has a big head. Chief Operating Officer Cleon Cole, the Chief Operating.
This looks like Tommy signing thing. Absolutely. Shots. There it is.
Wait, you are amazing.
You know the winner. Appreciate you guys. I don't know where to say no. Wow. How you feel? Still good. I would have that phone call come by. Let's go. Watch it again. One of us looking weird, don't worry about it. Right now, as we now have officially signed the Power of Partner Day 1, we're going to show you guys a video that was presented to show how impactful and the power of it. So please take a look at your screens. Pretty sure the video is going to be on Instagram and online, just in case you want to check that out. I know the audio is technical difficulties, but you see the example and the power of it. Right now, before we continue, I want to definitely show recognition to our elected officials. We have the Dover mayor, who's actually online, Mr. Rob. Senator Trey, want to say something? The mayor.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Well, good morning, everyone. Dr. Allen, President Clark, Hornets and Wolverines, one and all. I am very honored to join you this morning for this historic signing and transfer and joining of Delaware State University and Wesley College. As many of you know, my family has a legacy with not only Delaware State University, but Delaware State College. So today's a bittersweet day for everyone involved. It ends a longtime friendship with the city of Dover and Wesley College dating back to the 1800s under various names that Wesley has operated under. But today we stand at the threshold of new and improved history being written, not only for Delaware State University, but for the city of Dover. And I am greatly looking forward as mayor, and I'm sure the members of council, into writing new history along with Delaware State University, Wesley, as it moves forward in its different role to impact all of our citizens, not only here in the city of Dover, but Kent County, the state of Delaware, and certainly worldwide. So congratulations to everyone. And I'll finish by stealing a line from Senator Tom Carper, Hornets Rising. Congratulations, everyone.
I'm going to also take this time to acknowledge our senators that we have here who were huge advocates for Delaware State University and the Inspire Scholarship. I want to acknowledge Senator Trey Pardet and Senator Colin Bonique. Appreciate you guys. But now we're going to hear some words from the new university. We're going to hear from Wesley side of the family. You got sides of the family. You know what I mean? You got to hear from both sides of the family. So I'm going to call out Director of Health, Miss Laura Mays. Come on up. What?
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me today, and thank you so much for all that you've extended throughout this entire process. It has been challenging at times, but it has been productive, and we are here today to celebrate. I will quote my great friend and fellow alum, Colin Bonique. This is a happy ending. Any other option is unimaginable. So today is the first day of new opportunities and a time to celebrate what is now our collective history. I have many wonderful memories of my time at Wesley, first as a student, then as a staff member, and most recently as a proud parent of 2021 graduate. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, I will now have wonderful memories here at Delaware State University. I will be a staff member, a parent of a graduate student, and maybe even a student myself. People poured forge new relationships. We will make new friends, and we will support each other in our efforts to make the difference in the lives of the students that we all serve. In May, at Wesley's commencement, I read a quote from Jack Maxwell. Change is inevitable. Growth is optional. Change is, in fact, inevitable. And sometimes it's not easy. But to see and find the opportunities to grow and with change is a gift. I am excited to share this gift with each and every one of you here today, watching us, all of our fellow alumni from both institutions, and all of the students that we serve.
Thank you, Ms. Mays, and I ain't gonna lie, I really like that quote. I'll come to you after this. I can use that. Quote. Really cool. Next up, I want to hear from Visiting Assistant Professor in History and Political Science, Elizabeth Marchand.
Good morning, and thank you for having me here. I'd like to just speak to, I was an associate professor of law and justice studies for full-time since 2012, and an adjunct before that, but I was an attorney. And so I'm very thrilled to be here at Delaware State. They had a fantastic pre-law minor, and now it's been combined with the Wesley major, the legal studies major, to really having a fantastic law studies major, and I'm very excited to be part of that. As part of that, Dr. Allen called me a few weeks ago and asked me, the Delaware Supreme Court has put together a bench bar diversity initiative to bring diversity to the Delaware bar. It's been a long-standing issue. They've asked me, they wanted to people from Delaware State to serve on the steering committee, and invited me to do that on behalf of Delaware State, and I'm very happy to be doing that. And finally, I'm just excited to be transitioning over with my students. There's several students from legal studies, law and justice studies where I taught, and they're excited, and I think it will help them to see a familiar face during the transition. And I'm very excited about that. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Elizabeth. Next up, we're going to hear from the Assistant Dean of Students and Director of Judicial Affairs, Wanda Henderson.
Good morning, and thank you for this invitation to bring a few words. I'd like to first thank Dr. Tony Allen, President, Delaware State University. It's very interesting to say that because Tony was one of my students. Years ago. And I have to tell you, his innate leadership was always present and alive. You know that we are all here for students. So as you engage the students, remember President Allen, because we never know whose soul we're grooming. Of Tony Allen's commitment to bring Wesley into the DSU family has been amazing. The Board of Trustees, the committee members, everyone that has worked so diligently to make this process a success has served our students, both at DSU and from Wesley. So I am forever grateful for this day because it's a little like transplanting trees and shrubs and flowers. You're putting us into new fertile soil. And we look forward to that growth as we expand the landscape of what Delaware State University is. So I thank you and I celebrate this day with you.
Cute. Appreciate it. She was good, wasn't she? You're gonna be in. I need to stop it. I got the inspired scholarship. All right, next up, once again, Miss Chloe's gonna come up here and grace us with her beautiful voice. And another musical selection. So round of applause one more time.
So for the next one, I will be singing "Lean on Me." And when I think of this song, I think about the fact that we now have a whole new addition to our family that's going to have to lean on us. Like the song before, we're putting our faith in God, but we also have to put our faith in the people that God has given gifts to. President Allen has given the gift of leadership. He has been given the gift of plan, so we need to embrace it. So, in our lives, we all have needs, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we always know that there's tomorrow. We don't need, and you're not strong, and I will. Oh, it won't be long till I know somebody's gonna do. Follow your heart behind me. Be too far road, for no one can feel those of your that you won't let your lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be here. I will be no, it won't be long till I'm going to be somebody. I need somebody. I just might have a problem that you understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Oh, me. Oh, me.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. I was thinking, you see, we started to get the chant going, right? See, you like that energy? What if I had everybody in your room like standing up singing with you? Would you do it again? You sure? Look, I got permission from my president, Mr. Clark. I got permission from you too. Okay, listen, they hired me to create the energy. Just so this is what I'm gonna do, okay? I got to do this way ahead of time, okay? I don't get the kid, you got way ahead of time. All right, so everybody stand up, one feet. Miss Chloe, come look, grab this mic. Mic check, mic check. Listen, I need energy. Okay, Senator, but he was up there, he was the first one started clapping. At first he was on rhythm, but he got on there. That's right, we got you right. All right, you ready? We're gonna do what? The first verse and then one hook. Is that cool?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. All right, we're gonna be with you. Clap your hands, y'all. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Here you go.
Sign, relax, I'm love over them.
We don't know that there's tomorrow.
Sing it. Everybody sing it time. Watch you guys standing up just like you do in church. We're gonna pray this collection plate right now. Yeah, get somebody up here in the spot. Perfect, right on time, right on time. All right. That's good. Y'all fun building? Yeah. Your church, the kind of spirit, kind of go over you. So I'm like, we need to do that again. We need to do that again. Somebody appreciates you. So next up, coming to the stage, we have Wesley alumnus, Mr. Tim.
Good morning. Great day, right?
Yes.
A lot of positive things happening. Again, my name is Tim Butler, former student member of Capital Secretary Incorporated. At Wesley during my time there, not only was I a student, but I spent quite a bit of time as an active student. I played member of the Wesley College football team. I was the president of the African American Cultural Club there, as well as serving as the Hallmark chatted there. Ingrained, well connected and involved in the community, student at the college, even after. Ensuring young men have an opportunity to prepare to serve for college and to prepare for the world, serving as a mission. So Dr. Allen asked me to stop in and spend a little bit of time just talking about what the transition of this acquisition means to someone like myself who values Wesley's deep tradition and place in the Dover community as well as nationally. All this acquisition things for someone looks at it from through this lens, right? And I'll be brief, and I'll simply say, listen, this is new and different, right? It's not anything that's negative. I don't feel a loss in any way, other than maybe there's a bit more red in the color. There's a little more, but obviously that's not a problem for me, right? So. But I'll say again, you know, and I've had opportunities to talk to young people both in a professional capacity as in a personal capacity about what we're doing here. I've taken into both alumni associations to understand what it looks like, what it's going to feel like, and it's been green light great the entire way. There's a commitment from Delaware State to say, hey, listen, we're going to preserve those traditions. We're going to preserve what Wesley means to Dover and local community. But what we're really doing is provide an opportunity to for continuing education for young people in Delaware. So in short, the way I see it is we're not losing a school. We're preserving an opportunity for more students and the local community to continue. So with that, I'll say, again, thank you for an opportunity to address the group.
Appreciate you. So what we do here at Del State, we go like this, we go stay. He said, so don't get it. So stay put. I appreciate those words as well. This is going to be the last time you guys hear from me, but I'm going to say I appreciate the opportunity to be at this history-making moment for Delaware State University. And I did 1 minute, Dr. Tony, 1 minute. I promise. I know we're ahead of time. Yeah, we're ahead of time. That's good. Tony, I don't think I'm getting late with 3 minutes away. We're starting on time. We start everything on time with Dr. Tony Allen, and I appreciate that. All right. For the quick story, I always say to people, Delaware State University wasn't my first choice. It wasn't my second choice, but it turned out to be my best choice when it came to choosing a university. Delaware State University gave me a great opportunity to come here and just flourish, right? So long story short, fast forward, after graduating, I actually became a faculty member. Became an employee at Delaware State University in the admissions department as an admissions counselor. It was my job. I loved Del State. It was easy for me to go talk about Del State because I believed in Delaware State University. I believed Greg. It was easy for me because I believed in it. I graduated. I'm a product of Delaware State University. This is a true story. That's no lies. And I kind of got emotional on the side because it happened to me. I got emotional. I was in Starbucks last week. This is a true story. In Starbucks, and I'm just having a good time with her. The lady had a mask on. She said, "You don't remember me?" I'm like, "No, I'm seeing your face." She pointed to the mask. She was like, "My son was a borderline student and get into Delaware State University. But I remembered you said, come up to my, you said, came to my office." And my thing was, if a student was borderline, it was really adamant about coming to Delaware State University. I need to look you in your eyes. It's a true story, because I had the opportunity. Somebody gave me a chance. So it's my opportunity to give someone else a chance. So we came in and talked with him. We got him in Delaware State University. His mom said, I get emotional because and I don't even do emotional thing in public, but she was like, "It was because of you. My son is now working his dream job. He's working somewhere out in California." She showed me what it was. But she said, if you never gave him that opportunity at Delaware State University, he would not be where he is today. And I promise you, on everything that I love, I started crying in Starbucks. And I recorded it on my phone. And I said, I knew it was going to be a day that I would be able to give somebody the opportunity that somebody gave me. And that was here at Delaware State University. They gave me a shot. And that's my time crying, because I'm not going to cry. Build it. My old coach, Coach Ben said, if you build it, they'll come. They're coming. President Clark, we appreciate you bringing Wesley on over. Welcome to the family. I appreciate you guys. We want to hear from our presidents. So first, Mr. President Clark, come on up here. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
I tell you what, this is, when you have the thunder, then you have the rainbow. I saw the camera on me to sing, but reminds me about time in church, my mom used to bend over and say, "Bobby, it's okay to mouth the words." So singing is not my, but what a great day. And this is about family. And today's a culmination of a very long journey, one that started many, many years ago. When I got to Wesley, and a lot of, there's a couple young ladies, reporters asked, well, I understand the this and that and this. And a review there doesn't do anybody any good. You have to deal with the situation at hand. And the situation at hand was critical. But the payoff was enormous. And that payoff was ensuring that our future, young men and women that we serve, like Blake, like Chloe, have those educational opportunities to truly change their lives. So one of the things about 3.5 years ago that became very apparent to me was the higher education model is broken. There's too much discussion, private, public, this, that. At the end of the day, it's return on investment, and it's that life investment we all buy into. It's that investment in lives that we all hear the calling for, become involved with young men and women. So basically, as the board brought me in, I was an agent of change, but to me it was simple. Maintain our legacy, life-changing education that Wesley College has provided this state, this region, these students for over 150 years. Improve the lives and opportunities, the communities we call home. Find a partner who believes in Wesley's work and is committed, providing to expand educational opportunities to those students that we serve, our future, in the state we call home. Journey was one that had many challenges. Like I said, the goal was well worth it. Failure was not an option. This was too important, something to pursue. This was too important to allow a global pandemic and the devastation and chaos that it caused to derail. And it was too important to give in to the uninformed critics and naysayers. And there were a few. No, there were many. But it reminds me of the words of President and General Ulysses S. Grant, who said, and this is a quote that applies today, most confident critics are generally those who know the least about the matter they criticize. For job. Well, most importantly, though there were these critics, there were so many more steadfast supporters whose influence and engagement were critical throughout this process and who ensured our success. I know there's too many to name. Thanks goes to them all, but a few who rate special recognition, and several of them are here today. I'd be remiss if I did not publicly proclaim. Senator Tom Carper, Senator Chris Coons, Congresswoman Lisa Rochester, and their staffs, many of whom are Del State and Wesley alums. State Senator Colin Bonini, State Senator Trey Party, State Representative Sean Lynn, Ken Levy Court, our mayor, our city council chair, my board chair, Bill Strickland, and our board. I could not have had a more supportive board, both to direct and allow me time to seek their counsel and their wisdom. My faculty, my staff, my cabinet, many of whom are here today, the best. And also faculty, the staff, the board of both these institutions. The work that each and every one of you put forth to make sure that this day happened is why this day happened. You know, and the journey over the last 3.5 years had us looking all over the country, talking to all different schools, trying to find that partner, trying to find that person that understood the change that was coming. And it takes a little bit of faith. It takes a little forethought. It takes sacrifice. But you know what? Sometimes that journey, when you leave home, brings you right back to home. That partner was right next door. And that partner was being led by a gentleman who I knew since I came here 6 years ago, who before he became your president, he was my friend. And now as a colleague, we have a professional friendship. We also have a personal friendship. And friendships can overcome anything. And the two things that we shared was the vision. The other thing we shared is we don't believe in no-win situations. Because we're not managers. That's not what college presidents do. This is a calling, it's not a job. This is about leadership. Managers do the right thing and they do it really well. Leaders do what is right. Leaders do what is right for others and understand the people they serve are not those with fancy titles. It's those whose lives are put in our care. And there's no one better than that man, my friend, Tony Allen. So although the name of Wesley College changed slightly, but quite frankly, that's been our journey for the last 150 years. This institution's name has changed over time. But the one consistency is the life-changing educational opportunities provided to so many have remained the bedrock of what was and will continue to make Wilmington Academy, Wesley Junior College, Wesley College, and now Delaware State University's Wesley College of Health and Behavioral Science, a special place. And their alums, their leaders, will be those of positive change in communities that they live in and have the privilege to serve. Doing nothing, as you've heard throughout this, was never an option. COVID made it even more tenuous. I can't tell you the countless numbers of schools every month that are shuttering their doors, that don't have the opportunity that we have here. So the goals that were set forth as we found the partner, we realized, and we realized together. The future, which is bright, we'll realize together. The communities whose lives we will change, we will realize together. In the words of John F. Kennedy, change is the law of life. Those who look only to the past or to the present are certain to miss the future. The Delaware State University and Wesley College families, collective, understood that. We're not going to miss the future because the future starts today. Guess what? We'll read history in the classes, but as of this moment, we're going to write history that others will follow this example of service to the communities, this example of service to our faculty, this example of service to our staff, but most importantly, this example of the service to the students who we are charged to educate, to lead, to inspire, to make our collective future brighter, and they will. I'm so proud to be part of this moment. I'm so proud to call this man a colleague and a friend. Never lose sight of the fact that it doesn't matter what it says on your chest, or you were talking about the red you're going to have to get used to, but as a Wesley football player, you're used to it because you have the opponent's red all over your pants and shoulder. That's a different type of red. But at the end of the day, doesn't matter who we are, what we're from, where we're from. We are truly one team. We are one family. Now Wesley and Del State have one future bright. God bless you all. Tony, thank you, my friend.
I had prepared some remarks, but I just closed my phone. My heart is full. Before I get started, I just want to say that I'm deeply proud of the Delaware State. But it would be foolhardy for me to think this has much to do with it. I know the history, the deep history, this 130-year institution. Not like so many others, I got to be up close and personal to 2 years, president. What I can tell you about that experience is two things. One, every day when I came into our office, we talked about students in the university. It's our mantra. Students first. Second, we always talk to me about the history of Delaware State University. Many of those conversations that she knows, we talked about Wesley College, what we could do to build a partnership. So Dr. Michelle, I did not know you were coming, but I'm so glad you're here. Hope you share this moment with me for all that you've done and how you've inspired me. Thank you very much. I also want to say to the faculty and staff at Western College, welcome. This is a special place, special traditions. And I can tell you for certain, you know how to honor and celebrate our team. You all are now our team. We welcome you to this family. Believe me, sometimes it's Thanksgiving. Sometimes there's an uncle or aunt you don't want at the table. At the end of the day, it's always family. Thank you all for believing in us, making this opportunity a very rich one. In fact, I believe one of the biggest moments that we'll receive. And also want to say thank you to Bob Clark and Bill Strickland. I just know what it is to be in your positions over the last couple of years. And I know it was not easy. It was filled with some treacherous paths, I imagine. You all never returned from the goal. The goal was always about serving more students, being kind to the Wesley family, preserving the Wesley tradition. I can guarantee you all those things will continue. And we'd like to give some special recognition to Christine McDermott, Linda Murray Jackson. And they are the ALO and the liaisons to the Middle States Commission on Higher Education for our respective institutions. Know anything about Linda? That's all I'm saying. She works hard and she likes to party hard. So sometimes you got to shine a light on them. I can tell you, Christine and Linda, you have been tremendous. I had the opportunity to talk to the Middle States Commission Higher Education's president yesterday, Heather, who was incredibly pleased how the law worked out. She said that she's going to lead such transactions. And normally there are no political fights. Over the last 14 months, got one. She said it was unheard of. I believe that has everything to do with your leadership. What you knew this was going to represent Delaware and our respective. To my Delaware State University family, it's all about the power of you. Don't get anything done by ourselves. But when I say that we're going to be the most diverse contemporary HBCU nation, I say that because I know who you are, how hard you work, and how deeply you believe in this vision. While many people credit me with the vision, I actually know that the vision is born. From Holland, the Lord, ancestors, all their teams of this very, very institution. So my friends, I'm going to leave you with one quote. Read this quote the last commencement exercise. It's from Ecclesiastes 9. The race is not to the swift, battle too strong. Nor does the food come to the wise, the wealth to the groom, favor to the learned, time and chance. Time and chance. It's our time. It's our time. It's our time. Full advantage. Because we, the impressive young men and women, may have any idea what they want to build their bodies. That's what today is. That's what. Bless you all.
Look, if they give it on time. We appreciate you guys coming on out. Once again, round of applause for this historic day, day one. Everybody on my spot, man, I told them, I don't know if y'all know these young folks, they say my day ones. Those are your friends from the beginning. So Wesley, Delaware State University, we are day ones. So we're going to begin this journey, Power Week. I'm excited, as we just said. We appreciate you guys coming on out. And please enjoy the rest of your day. Take pictures.